Hi, everybody. My name is Jake, and today we are going to be talking about the future of PicMonkey. We're going to be talking with product about newly released features, as well as talking about some really exciting upcoming features for both our desktop and mobile. So super exciting. To start us off, I want to introduce who we are. Like I said, my name is Jake, and I will be the moderator today. With us, we have our Director of Product, Adrian Piro. We have Travis, who is our Head of Mobile Engineering, as well as Product Manager, Joe Ree. So see if you guys are able to say hi here. Looks like they might still be muted. Apologies. One sec, guys.
Hi, I'm from Michigan.
Well, hello.
Living in Arizona. I think you're getting some text.
Yeah, so we will have text going throughout. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the chat. We are going to have a live question and answer section at the end here. Just got to get everyone else on board. Let's. Okay, it's not allowing me to do video here, so it looks like we're going to have to go with just audio. Adrian or Joe, can I have you, can you guys, you unmuted here? I've done it through the app, but it doesn't look like it's showing up for you guys.
Yeah, I got unmuted.
Awesome. Okay.
Hi, everyone.
So this is Joe, and apologies again, we don't have video for these guys. But Joe, Adrian, and Travis should be online here and should be unmuted to be able to say hi to everybody if you can. One second.
Hi guys, it's nice to see you.
That is Adrian there.
Hey guys, this is Travis. Looks like I am unmuted now, so in technical difficulties, but I think we're gonna make it work.
That works. Okay. So moving on here, I wanted to first talk about a lot of the new features that we've recently released before we get into some of the new features for mobile and desktop that's coming up. 2020 was a really big year for us. We released a ton of new features, and we've kept that going in the last few months of 2020, as well as we've actually already released a really big new feature this month in January already. So I wanted to start off first with one of the first ones we released, or later ones we released last year towards the end of the year, and that is Collage. So Joe, could you talk to us a little bit about Collage here, where it kind of came from, why we built it, and what you can do with it?
Sure. So as you all know, we have a fantastic collage tool in PicMonkey. If you're not aware, then I really encourage you to give it a try. You can find it in the editor, and on the very left rail, you can select the collage button, or you can search for collage templates through our templates tool. It's a very simple tool. It's as simple as choosing a layout and dragging and dropping images or videos into the empty cells. And from there, you can easily customize by adjusting the spacing of the collage, such as the border spacing or the cell spacing. And additionally, you can add layers such as text on top of your collage layout. So The reason why we built this was previously the way we offered the collage layout was through if you really wanted to make a collage layout, you would have to add a bunch of images onto your canvas and having to resize them individually, crop them individually. And if you wanted to adjust the spacing, you would have to really manually adjust individual layers to get that look. And you didn't have the confidence that the border will turn out clean and all aligned. So this is it's a tool that we're very proud of. It's the ability to resize individual cells and make sure that everything else kind of aligns. And our most recent improvement, thanks to all your feedback, is the ability to fit an image or video to a cell. So if you haven't seen it already, then I really encourage all of you to go open a Collage template or use Collage tool. And from there, you can see that there is now a fit to cell or fill cell button on the palette. So this means that you can quickly adjust the size of the image or video in the cell. So you can see on the left here in the GIF, the bottom left GIF, that you can now resize a particular cell so that it introduces transparency, and you can fine tune using the size slider. So that's one of the more requested improvements that we got, and we built it for you.
And that's why, like, to me, I feel like it's super important to get feedback from everyone, just because, even though we'll finish and we'll release a new feature or a new tool, we're always making improvements and we're always looking to make it better and work better for you guys. So, I mean, this is one of the things we did based on feedback. And I think it's a really good tweak. It's a really good improvement. So always, please feel free to give us feedback. We really cherish it.
Absolutely.
I know we're going to take questions at the end, Jake, but one of the things people are asking about is just like, can you do collages in only set sizes, or can you create a collage in any document size? So maybe Joe wants to talk about that too.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You can essentially resize any collage that you've created as if you're resizing a normal photo. So once you create a collage, you can navigate and use the resize tool to adjust the size of your collage. And this will dynamically resize all of your cell content as well. Or for those who are pro subscribers, you can use the Smart Resize tool to select the outputs, the outcome sizes as you wish.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that we could use Smart Resize on Collage. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. The next feature we wanted to touch on here that we just recently released towards the end of the year is another one that kind of came from, if you guys don't know, we had an older product we called Old PicMonkey. And it was one of the most popular features on Old PicMonkey. And it's just so far improved, and it's just a lot of fun. And that feature is Draw. We've just recently brought it into new PicMonkey, and it's, like I said, to me, vastly improved. So Joe, if you could kind of give us a little overview of what Draw is, what you can do with it, and how we've really improved upon it.
Yeah, this is another feature we are very proud of. So if you haven't tried, again, I strongly encourage you to play with it. We offer 3 different brush settings. So these are brush presets. So we have pencil, paintbrush, and spray paint. And the really fun part is that after you apply your drawing, it actually creates a layer. This is very different from what it was in Old PicMonkey. In Old PicMonkey, draw was an effect. But in new PicMonkey, a drawing is a layer. This means that you can duplicate it, resize it, or even add effects to it. So if you look at the GIF here, you can see that there's you can further manipulate and customize your draw layer. You can also erase your draw layer after you created it, and then you can even apply textures on it. So there's so much customization you can do with draw. And we're really proud of it. So please let us know what you think by contacting our customer support team. As always, we're listening to your feedback and thinking of many ways to improve PicMonkey for you.
Yeah, I think Draw is super It's been super fun. I don't think I use it a lot with old PicMonkey, but I have used it a ton with new PicMonkey. Just the ability to have it as its own layer, I think is super helpful. It's not just like stuck to the canvas where you drew it. It's, you can move it around, play with it, resize it, everything Joe said. It's really awesome. So I'm super excited. Okay, so the next feature we want to talk about is one that we actually just released, I think last week or maybe the week before. So it's really fresh, and it is incredibly exciting. Yeah, it could keep going on, but let's just jump right in. It is animation. So we've just, like I said, released it in the last couple of weeks. It is just awesome. And we're going to be making tweaks and improvements as we go, like we do with everything. But the initial release has just been a lot of fun. I know we've had a lot of fun playing with it. So Adrian, take it away. Could you tell us a little bit about what animation is and what you can do with it?
Yes, absolutely. We released animation on Tuesday last week. So it's just been 8 days. We're so excited to see how many new creations you all are making with animation. Previously, we allowed you to add animated graphics. So those were, GIFs or of your own or from our graphics palette to the stage. But now you can actually apply an animation to any layer in your document. So you can see some of the examples that we have here that some layers we've decided not to apply an animation, and so they remain static, and other layers you can select an animation and apply it. We have a handful of preset animations that you can choose from to make it super easy to apply an animation. When you apply an animation to a set of layers, you can do that either by selecting multiple layers at the same time and applying a single animation style. Those animations will then have a relationship to each other, like the red example that you see on the screen, where the letters are bouncing together and the cutout of the man is bouncing together as well. You can have each of those items have a relationship. The other way you could do it is by first grouping those objects together. And then when you apply an animation, rather than them having a relationship to each other, they'll all animate together. So you won't see any slight delays between those animations of the different layers. Two different effects and that you can kind of try out. Just like with all of our other effects and things like that, you can reposition objects, you can scale them, change their layer ordering, even after you've applied an animation. You can also change the animation once you've applied it. So if you, first put in the drop-in animation, but you decide later as your design progresses that that's not quite the right one, you want to adjust that and make it a different animation, you can just select a different one. The other great thing is that you can preview all of this right in your canvas. So right at the very bottom, there's a preview play button. You can hit that and automatically see all of your animations, how they would play in relation to each other, how long the entire animation will play for, and kind of check that out and then go back to editing and making your tweaks. You can export animations as MP4s or as GIFs as well. So lots of options for you, whether you're posting, ads or to social or just sending things to your friends. And we look forward to kind of learning more about how you're engaging with that so we can continue to optimize animation as we go. Awesome.
And I know this is one of the features that we've had internally for a little bit. We're always very lucky that we usually get to play around with these features ahead of time. And I will say, I think actually the red one in instance actually comes from one of our people internally just kind of was playing around with it and made that. And I loved it. I had to include it. But it's just been a lot of fun to play with. And there's so many different ways to couple it with different features that we have, like the instant background remover. It's just a lot of fun. So definitely go check it out if you haven't already. It is got a lot of potential. And then now that we've kind of talked about some of the newly released features, I wanted to talk about one big new feature that's coming up pretty soon. I know we teased it out, I think last year, talking about something we were thinking about and looking into. And since then, we've done a ton of work on it. Adrienne and her team have just been cracking at it, and it is getting really close to release. And it's very exciting, and I'm so excited to share about multi-page. So Adrienne, could you talk us through what multi-page is, what we're looking to do with this, and what someone will be able to do with multi-page?
Yeah, absolutely. We are very excited to be releasing multi-page this quarter. So we are right now developing a way using a very similar method as the layers panel to add additional pages to your document. Your document will remain the same size for all of the pages. And you can easily click to add more pages, duplicate an existing page, and drag to rearrange pages. Every page will have just as many editing capabilities as you've always had, but now they can have a relationship to each other. So if you wanted to keep a background color or style or texture that you've already applied, you can duplicate a page, slide that down. I will give you a little Easter egg that if you try to use it with some animations, you will be able to export multi-page either as a video or a GIF, in addition to it being a multi-page document. You can also export single pages. So you will have the chance to potentially, if you get in there, use your animation that we just talked about to also create flows and mini videos and mini GIFs. So I think we're pretty excited about the potential for multi-page, and it will release to all subscribers, so basic or pro, and we can't wait to share that with you.
Yeah, it's been super exciting. And like, again, with all of these, I've been playing around with them a lot just internally. One of the ones that's there, I just kind of created an Instagram story and it was really fun. I used it with some of our animated videos already, using some of the stock video. Obviously, if this was a product, you'd be using your own videos, which you can do. But yeah, it's super easy. It's super intuitive, especially now with the layers panel on that side as well. It kind of works similarly, like Adrian was saying. So it is a very exciting new feature, and I really think it's groundbreaking. As much as I hate using that word, I think it really is. Like, it's groundbreaking. It's going to be really awesome.
We definitely imagined a lot of social, social stories and print use cases for our customers. We've been thankful to the customers who we've been able to receive feedback from when they talked about requesting this feature, and that helped us to shape a lot of how we built this and what we did. So looking forward to being able to get that to the customers this quarter.
Awesome. Okay, so next up is we wanted to talk a little about mobile. So we've done a lot of work, especially Travis has done just a ton of work on the mobile app, and we're going to be including a bunch of new features, really exciting stuff, some of them coming from desktop, some of them all new themselves. So I was hoping you could talk us through and start at the top here, Travis. Could you talk us through what GIF Maker and animated graphics are going to be like for mobile?
Yeah, sure, Jake. So if you guys were not aware, in December, we shipped video on mobile. So that is essentially the ability to, anywhere previously you used a static image on a layer or on a background, you can now actually use a video as well. So GIF support is really kind of our next kind of natural evolution on our kind of video theme. So, one of the things that we think is really powerful about GIF is that it automatically loops and automatically plays. So anywhere, so we think that's really great for, social posts to really drive engagement, stories, other kind of promotional content for your businesses and those kinds of things. Basically how it works is if you've got video on your canvas, if you've got video on your canvas and then you go to export that, if your video is less than 15 seconds, you'll also have the option to export that as a GIF along with the kind of existing export as MP4 setting.
That's awesome. GIF Maker on the go.
That is GIF Maker on the go, exactly.
Awesome. And the inclusion of animated graphics. I know we have those on desktop now. Is animated graphics, I know that's coming soon, correct?
Yeah, so that is shipping imminently in the next day or two here, along with GIF support, obviously. So, basically we have taken all of our curated animated graphics, automatically looping graphics from desktop, and now made those also available in the mobile app. And they're also going to be, this is a premium content feature. So if you have a pro subscription and you're coming from desktop, it will be kind of a seamless interaction at that point.
Awesome.
So they're super fun. They're really powerful. If you guys see the slide here, kind of using a few of those examples here, there's video on the canvas as well as kind of some of our little sparkling, kind of fireworksy looking animated GIFs.
Yeah, really exciting. I'm really excited, especially for GIF Maker, for both desktop and mobile. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to both of those. And that's something I haven't had a chance to really play with yet. So I'm excited to get to play with that. So next up, I wanted to see, I know we're doing stock images, stock video, and the inclusion of templates. So I was hoping you could kind of talk through those inclusions, as well as any, I know we're going to have some bigger changes to how just kind of everything works in the architecture of mobile. So if you could talk us through those inclusions, that'd be great.
Yeah, so why don't we start, we'll start with stock.
Sure.
You know, so stock is really one of those things that makes it easier and gives us inspiration to create the things we're looking to create. You know, we aren't all amazing photographers with like stunningly gorgeous camera rolls and those kinds of things. So this is immensely helpful for me in my overall workflow when I create a thing. You know, everything in this particular example was obviously created with stock, for example. So we shipped Unsplash in the fall. I think October timeframe. Next up is kind of our continuing theme to, you know, obviously roll out new content to keep things fresh. So I believe next up is stock video with Pexels. And then I think Pixabay is going to come a little bit after that. And then somewhere in mid-February, we're also going to ship Getty iStock. So again, a lot of these services are things that are already available on desktop, but we also want to, you know, have them available on mobile just because they have, you know, these massive libraries with really talented photographers and videographers in them, and they're, you know, they really help to create some really compelling content. So that is stock. Why don't we roll into templates next?
Yeah.
So templates we know are, you know, a really important part of folks' workflow. It's something that I would have really loved to have done in 2020, but 2020 was really about kind of building up a critical mass from a content standpoint to really be able to support building aesthetically compelling templates. So, you know, that's things like video, stock photos, background remover, video effects, and then, you know, hundreds and probably thousands of new graphics that we added over the last 12 months. So, you know, it's a Q1 initiative, or we're aiming to ship this at the end of Q1. At least at this point, we're probably going to be prioritizing a little bit more from kind of a social post kind of theme standpoint as far as the templates that we actually expose on mobile. Mm-hmm. Many of those will come over from desktop. We may also have kind of some unique mobile specific ones, but I don't have kind of a clear picture of how that content's going to look overall, but I know it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited just because, you know, going from, you know, they are different, you know, they're part of your subscription, but they are different. And so I'm really excited to see how mobile gets really differentiated and adds all these really cool features that some are already on desktop, some are going to be brand new just for mobile. And so it's really exciting to see how far mobile has come. 2020 was a big year for mobile, and I'm really looking forward to, especially in just the first half of 2021, mobile is going to get a big upgrade. So I'm really excited.
Me too, Jake. Me too.
Okay, so I wanted to move on now to, last but certainly not least, some more minor features and tweaks that we've included that I just kind of wanted to share with you guys. I think they're super important. So I was hoping, Joe, you could talk through outline improvements, color changer, and image fill. The top two we have already shipped, and the bottom one we will be shipping soon. So Joe, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. The outline improvements and color changer, they're two improvements to the PicMonkey desktop app that we released this month. And so I'll first talk about the outline improvements. So I don't know if you've all played with the outline feature, but you can find it in the effects tab in the graphics or text or even image palette. So it's a little bit tucked away, but when you're editing a text, you can find the effects tab on the text palette, and you can add a outline or drop shadow or inner shadow. So outline can be found there. One of the things we've improved is the ability to adjust the distance, angle, and scale of the outline. So an example here is the image there that says outline. But you can see that there's a outline on it that we use the distance as well as the angle slider to kind of make that outline offset. So this allows you to kind of further customize the outline feature. And I know all of you really love the outline feature, so please go and play with it and see what other cool things you can make using the outline tool.
It's so much fun, especially knockout. And yeah, I am really excited about being able to actually do more with outline and be able to move distance around. It's been just outline by itself has been a lot of fun. So I know a lot of folks have used our drop shadow to try to get that outline effect, and having outline, I can't remember when we released it, but it's been really awesome to have. And so any little improvements is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, and I think you touched on a good point, Jake. The ability, the theme around kind of making PicMonkey easy to use. So as you mentioned before, you had to kind of you have to creatively use drop shadow, or you have to duplicate duplicate the layer and make some edits to kind of mimic the outline look. But the theme around making PicMonkey easy to use, we've essentially made it so that it's as easy as enabling outline and adjusting the slider. So.
Exactly. And I think the same kind of goes to be said for Collage. Technically, you could have made really awesome and unique collages without our new Collage tool, but the Collage tool that we built just makes it so much more intuitive and so much easier to just drag and drop stuff in. So I think that's a big focus for us always, just to make these features so much easier to use and just be able to jump in and go without having to spend 4 hours trying to learn how to do something or manipulate something just enough to get it right. So we really want to make it as easy as possible for folks. So good call out, Joe. Yep. Next up is Color Changer.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of you have tried Color Changer, but we're also very excited for this one too. It's an actual edit feature. It's different from kind of the tool of Collage, or a tool of multi-page, or a little feature of outline, but this is more kind of robust photo editing. And the thing you can do here is actually you can adjust the hue, saturation, and the luminance, or the brightness of a targeted color range of an image. So in that GIF right there, where there's a woman standing with a red sweater, you can see that I am adjusting this yellow background, and I'm adjusting the hue of it so that I can actually change that yellow into a different color, which is really amazing. I mean, if I chose the red and adjusted it, then I can essentially change the color of that red sweater to something like green or blue. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this. You can essentially change the background of your photo without actually having to go take a picture with a different background. Or maybe one way previously you might achieve this was by using a draw tool to color in the background or something like that. But again, with the theme around making PicMonkey easy to use, we've allowed you to really make this easy.
Yeah, and I want to say one of the things I've enjoyed playing around with it as much as I have is being able to paint this on as well, like you can with our other effects. So I know for one, I was just playing around with someone changing hair color on someone and just kind of painting a blonde woman's hair and just painting around and then altering that color. And it was just changing the hair. And it was really cool. I know a lot of people internally have been playing with it. And now a lot of people really want to try pink hair just because it's been really fun to do on your photos. So it's been kind of cool. So really exciting. Next up is an upcoming feature that I think has been incredibly widely requested for forever now. And I'm really excited to hear more about what image fill will entail, Joe.
Yeah, image fill will be, again, the theme around making PicMonkey easy to use. As you can see on the bottom left, the text with the black circle. So that is a basic text layer, and the circle is a basic circle graphic. But there we will be adding the ability to fill that with an image of your choice. And the image of your choice might be an image like the one here, a portrait image, so that you can make a a portrait photo, or you can choose from one of our stock photos to fill it. And the image fill on an actual text layer, it actually makes the text look so much better than just a regular text, one of the colors. You can actually fill it with patterns. You might be able to fill it with a stock image or a stock a photo of your choice. So this is really exciting. It's very similar to our textures functionality, but this will make it a lot easier to use because we'll be allowing the dragging and dropping capability to fill these. So if you have text and the black circle on a canvas, you can then easily drag and drop an image from the left photos and video panel and fill those graphics or text with an image. So we're really excited for this. This is coming very soon. We'll be scheduling the release for this quarter.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of stuff, like I said, a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today is coming. If it hasn't already come out, a lot of the new stuff is coming early on. So, you know, just in the early part of this year, we're hitting the ground running. And, you know, I've been really excited from while I'm in marketing and not in the product team as you guys are. You know, it's been really nice to watch you guys work and see what you guys have come up with and see just the really, really hard work you guys have put in to making these features and the dedication to feedback and just how seriously you guys take that. So I'm very impressed. I know a lot of the folks here are as well, and a lot of our customers are. So just wanted to
think of you as part of the team, Jake.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, and so lastly here, I want to get to some of these questions. So let me poke up through here and pull up our chat and see.
I've been taking notes, Jake, if you want me to rattle off some of the questions that people have been asking.
I appreciate that.
Joe, can you clarify how you can still edit pictures or images within a collage?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then also clarify that Collage is for all subs, not just Pro.
Yeah. So first of all, Collage, you can anyone can try. You don't have to be a subscriber. You can open PicMonkey and click on the Collage tool from the very left rail and try it from there. So please go and try. In regards to editing the photos in Collage, you actually have access to the rest of our editor features when you're using Collage. Collage isn't a separate tool that we used to have in old PicMonkey. Collage is now fully incorporated into the editor. So this means that once you fill a collage cell with an image, you can select that cell and navigate to effects to apply an effect to that image. You can navigate to textures to apply a texture to that image within the cell, or you can even erase your collage cell, I mean the image in that collage cell. So you have the ability to edit any of your cells that way.
Awesome.
Sweet. Thank you, Joe. Let's see, there's a question here about animation and adding multiple animations to a single layer. So right now you can only add one animation to each layer. But if that is a use case that you have that you need to add multiple animations, I would love to hear more about that. We are still trying to get animation absolutely right. And I think hearing more about how you guys are using animation would help us. So, you know, send Jake a message after this or post it in the chat here and we'll capture that. We may even reach out to you if we've got more questions, if that wasn't clear enough to us, but we'd love to hear more about that. And I think there's a question related also to just being able to customize those animations or maybe create, there was a question about sequencing, you know, being able to have the 1, 2, 3 pop up separately. And that is something that we're looking at and likely to work on in Q2. But again, I'd love to hear more about your use for that so that we can make sure we're getting it right as we think about, you know, how we could expand animation.
And when Adrienne says that, she means it. She really does pour over a lot of the stuff. And I get messages all the time from product folks asking me like, hey, reach out to them and find out more information. We'd love to hear from them. So really, we really love hearing from you guys. So I have a question for Travis here. Do we have any plans for Clone on mobile?
You know, Clone is something that we've kind of kicked around for a while, and it's in the backlog at this point, but we just really haven't figured out how to prioritize that yet. So it's helpful to hear, you know, some folks are interested in that. So, you know, again, it's one of those things that reach out to Jake's team and be noisy about this, because it's one of those things that I think is interesting, but, you know, and if we get enough asks, then it's something we may very well take a look at and reprioritize.
Yeah.
Currently, it's not on the roadmap for 2021, but again, happy to revisit that if that's something you guys are really interested in.
Awesome. I think I'm also seeing a request for a feature that is also near and dear to my heart as well, and that is, do we have any plans for a spell check?
I saw those comments as well. This is not the first time we've heard that, and it is definitely something that we actually have very near and dear to our hearts to try to accomplish as well. At the moment, we don't have any release date or development work happening around spell check, but I am thinking a lot about it. I would love to be able to do that. It's a matter of resources and how we can get the most stuff out there to you guys as fast as possible. I hear you, and I will take that back to the team, and we will talk more about it, I promise.
Awesome. Yeah, I know I run into that every once in a while. I'll do it through Google Docs these days. If I have any long-winded stuff, I'm doing through PicMonkey, but yeah. Okay, I know I saw, Adrian, unless you have something, I'm gonna look through here. I know there was one a second ago. Oh, any chance to get more diagonal options in Collage?
Yeah, so that is one of the things that we are looking into. I mean, right now, the only layouts that we have available are gridded layouts. So the diagonal collage layouts, we do see them out there in the wild from other tools and things like that. So I can't say that we're really investigating or putting resources into adding the ability to add diagonal layouts, but it is something that we're considering.
And for everyone on feedback, too, we have our Facebook page. We have a private Facebook group as well. We also have just help@picmonkey.com, which is our support team. We collate all feedback from all three of those channels, or also Instagram. So please feel free, if you do want to reach out on any of those, please feel free to do that there, and we will definitely grab that for you guys. So I have a question on mobile for Travis here. Will you be able to edit an item you made in desktop in mobile or reverse?
Yes, you're talking about desktop mobile interop and I think Tracy Neal, it looks like you asked this question originally. Yeah, so that is something that we're actively thinking about and is on the roadmap. I think it's sitting out a little bit further in Q4 at this point, but I cannot say with 100% certainty that we will have 100% interop between the two platforms, just because they are slightly different tech sets at this point. But I can say that for things like text and layers, that the chance of us being able to support that interop back and forth is really high at this point. So that's another one of those things that it's a whole heck of a lot of work. We know we want it, but we just have to prioritize accordingly to make sure that, you know, we're getting out the right stuff in the right order.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
No, keep
going. I was just going to say, for folks asking if we're going to record this and post this, we are recording, and we will post this to our YouTube page later on today. So just wanted to call that out.
I saw a question about bubble letters, and there's a couple ways that you can get bubble letters. So either you can upload your own font. If you're a pro user, you can do that. And you can find a lot of free fonts online, especially if you're going to be using them for personal use or for your own social media. Also, if you go in our font lists down to the section of display fonts as the category, we have a lot of like rounded fonts. There's this couple that actually look like bubble letters, but you can look in there, find one that maybe is the right shape. And you can actually use the outline tool, make the font itself transparent, but use the outline tool, pick your color, and that can also create bubble letters. You could do that with any of our fonts, but the ones that I think would probably be most successful at doing what you're looking for is in the display fonts section.
Awesome. And then we have a question on tutorials for all of these. So we do actually have a resource center that our marketing team and product team work together to build out. So it is picmonkey.com/blog to take you to our resource center. And we have a ton of tutorials as well as just a bunch of how-tos and just explanations of all the new features. We talk about just anything that we're having released. So it's a great resource for everyone. We also have our YouTube page, which we are really focused right now. We have someone on our team that she is out creating a lot of tutorial videos, all free. We want to give out as much content as we possibly can to help you guys to be just the best possible designers you can be. So we know that as easy as it is to use, it still can be kind of daunting coming in with any new software, especially with any new feature. So please feel free to check out our resource center and also our YouTube page. There is a ton of great resources there. And yeah, those are both really great resources to check out.
It looks like there was another question around video and adding music to your videos.
Yeah.
Jude or anybody else who has that need, I would love to hear more about what you're using that for. You know, is it social media? How long are the videos? What kinds of music are you adding? We are definitely very interested in the capabilities to add music and something that we just want to make sure we get right. So if you can, give me any more detail about how you're using it, that could really help us to better understand the right way to do that for us.
Awesome. And Louise, I definitely like your comment on the stuff for just different content around like healthcare and medical images. I know we do have a good amount with both stock because we have Unsplash, and then for pro folks we have the Getty images, and that is chock full of stuff. And I know we're also adding we've added medical graphics in the past few months, especially just in the climate we're in. It's also been helpful to have those just for folks creating any kind of signs or signage or anything like that, or any kind of social posts around health or healthcare. Also, thank you for working in healthcare, especially in this time. It's really awesome. But yeah, we will definitely be, I'm not sure if we have any more content planned, but I would definitely have you check out our both graphics as well as our stock imagery for those guys. Okay, and then stock images, you could totally use stock images for collage. So if you have your own images, great, go for that. But you can totally also drag and drop any of the stock imagery into your collage cells. So super great to be able to use a bunch of these different features together. It's really, really awesome. And then oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I hope I'm not talking over you, Jake.
No, you're fine. No.
So it looks like there's some questions about banner quality. So I would like to hear more about that because that's come up from a couple people. So that seems like something that we're going to want to address. So definitely we will take your names down and hopefully we can be in touch, or you can post some additional comments there. One of the things that we try to do is to create assets that fit standard sizes out in the wild. So our web banners are matched to standard web banner sizes, including the pixel quality of the graphics. Pixel quality of the document. So we're trying to do the right thing for you guys. So if that isn't right, if you're finding things that are mismatched to your expectations, we definitely want to hear about that. The other thing is that you can also create documents that have larger sizes, but are the same ratio. And so either you can use like a ratio calculator online to figure that out and create a custom sized document. As long as it's the same ratio, it'll be able to be used in all of the places that you would use that same asset. It'll scale down on its own and it'll retain that higher pixel quality. But obviously that's extra steps and we don't want you to have to do that. So I would love to hear more about what you're encountering so that we can try to make that easier for you in our product so you don't have to go outside the product.
And that's awesome, Adrian. I know I've been asked that question a lot, especially with like larger assets.
Hmm.
And that's not something I've ever been very equipped to answer. So that's a really great answer. So yeah, thank you for that. It's super
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
I've seen a couple questions too about when multi-page is going to be available.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
working on it this quarter. I would imagine that in the month of March, you will see multi-page be live.
Awesome.
If I'm an imagining person, I will imagine it's in the month of March. But coming, and we will of course give you guys all updates through all the social channels that Jake mentioned, Facebook, all that, so you'll know when it's coming.
Awesome. And I'm not seeing any other big questions, Adrian, unless you guys are seeing anything that you want to speak to.
I think there's two more. Oh yeah, what do you see, Trav? Go ahead. Was that you, Travis?
No.
I didn't see anything. It looks like I have seen a couple more requests for clones.
There you go, Travis.
Maybe we'll give that some more thought.
Yeah, there you go.
The other one that I've seen is about copying pasting between documents. So Joe, I hope I don't get this right. You might be a better person to answer this, just because I know you've probably QA'd this thing a number of times in your past life. But you can paste an entire document into a new document, and then you can revert that doc and manipulate the layers. Isn't that right, Joe? And
Yes.
I'm just trying to make sure I get the right workflow.
Right. I think the one of the ways you can mimic that is by creating one document and then opening a layer from your hub and choosing a previous document you've created. And that is essentially how you can move one document into another. But I think if I'm understanding this correctly, I believe the copy and paste is more related to actual like if you have two tabs open, let's say, and each of them have documents, and if you have text in one layer and you want to copy and paste onto the other tab where you have another PicMonkey canvas. But I think that is a compelling functionality. I believe with the introduction of multi-page, you'll be able to kind of mimic that workflow where then you'll have multiple canvases in a single in one tab, and rather, you don't have to have multiple tabs open with different documents. But now with the introduction of multi-page, in the future, you'll be able to work with multiple documents within a single PicMonkey editor session. So maybe that's a no answer, but I guess I'm advertising multi-page over it. But, the ability to copy and paste, please continue to send feedback. I think we've heard it before, yeah, if it's really important to you, and I don't know it is, we'll continue to kind of investigate and see what the feasibility of that is.
That's why this platform is so awesome too, because it's nice to get direct feedback from people. It really helps us to understand, how the need can be addressed. How you're encountering it, how to make your workflows better. So appreciate you guys taking the time to give us this feedback, and definitely keep it coming.
Absolutely, yeah. We're definitely focused on, like everyone has said, we really want to make the best and easiest to use product we possibly can for you guys, because we know that not all of you have the time to be able to just sit and really learn something super complex, but we also still want to bring a really complex editor just as simplified as we possibly can. So Joe and Adrian and Travis and their teams are very focused on that, and really awesome. So yeah. If there's anything else, I do see something about a quick explanation of layers, of just super basic. I don't know who wants to tackle that.
Yeah, I can take that.
Yeah.
So we do have a layers panel that's docked to the right side of your editor. And each of those layers represents the different objects, whether it be text or image, video, graphics within your document, including the background layer as well. You can click and drag those layers above or below one another so that you can rearrange the objects on your stage. You can also multi-select things if you wanted to adjust color or sizing and scale things together. The layers panel is a great way to multi-select so that you know that you're getting the exact objects that you're looking for. That same panel is where your multi-page documents are going to be. So there will be a toggle between layers and pages. And there was a question, I think, actually earlier about what is multi-page, and multi-page is basically being able to have multiple designs in the same document. Just like you might type a Word document and have multiple pages in a Word document, this would allow you to have multiple design pages within the same document. So I think you could imagine having the front and back of a flyer or a business card, or you might be posting to social stories like Instagram stories, and you want to have, stories can have up to 10 pages in a story. So you could have 10 pages within a single document. And when you export them, you'll export individual pages so that you can upload them as each of those pages into Instagram, for example. So a multi-page document will also be hosted there on that right docked panel. And you'll be able to also click and drag and rearrange the pages themselves into different orders. Did that answer the question for you guys about layers? If it didn't, let me know.
It looks like it was very
I can
helpful.
for it.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Mhm.
And then on changing colors, you are able to save presets and color hues, I think, through brand kits. Now, Adrian, are brand kits, is that a pro feature?
Yes, we have not updated brand kits for the color changer yet.
Okay.
So yes,
Oh,
so that's
excuse
one
me.
of
Thank you
yes,
for that.
I think they're asking specifically about the color changer.
Ah,
Yes, one of the ways though that's really awesome, if you do have a particular preset for your color changer that you like, and you save it into a document that way, you can save that document to your brand kits as a template.
Mhm.
And when you bring that template back to the stage and you start editing it, you can replace the image and it'll retain all of the effects that you've already applied to that layer, including the color changer. So that's one way to get all of your documents to have the exact same settings for things like color changer, but as well as textures or other effects and blend modes, all of that.
awesome. And then I think here is probably going to be our last question for time here, and something I'm also super interested in. I'm glad it got asked. How about a square eraser tool?
Yeah, square eraser. Yes, that is something we are actually looking into for this year, for 2021. I know there's been a lot of feedback around brush shapes, so that is something I'm actively looking into. So I can't spill anymore. I'd like for it to be a surprise, but I believe the 55 participants here have heard it. But things like square erasers, or maybe there's a potential for different brush tips. But this all kind of depends on our initial investigation of that feasibility.
Awesome.
So stay tuned.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about any kind of brush shapes. I know I've heard about that for a while now, and I think especially using when I don't use background remover and I am using like the manual eraser, it totally would be helpful, at least just for eraser, but also for painting on effects and stuff like that. So great question. Thank you. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for us, guys. We will, again, like I said, be posting this to YouTube later in the day or tomorrow. So if you didn't get to watch the whole thing, please feel free to jump on there. And I want to thank everyone for joining us, and thanks to my wonderful panel here. You guys have been great. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
See you.
Bye, guys.